Grand Rising family, all high frequency beings, thanks for tapping in once again. This video is it's gonna include two videos that were removed from TikTok for reasons they didn't really explain in detail. I petitioned them and they said they were removed for integrity and authenticity despite scientific proof and stuff. And I've heard many other TikTokers and video creators of this conscious information mention these things, and we shouldn't be surprised, and we shouldn't get upset or fall into a state of despair, because you gotta realize, like, just last year this information was freely um, being discussed, on all platforms, and as much as they tried to get rid of TikTok, they haven't been able to. So they took it upon themselves to aggressively ban a lot of this conscious information. And the reason why I say you shouldn't get upset is because this is a clear sign of the times at hand. And you know how quickly things are transgressing and progressing right now, because these people are afraid. These malevolent people are very, very afraid right now, because what they're realizing is that this is inevitable. You know, like they were told by some of their own people who went into hiding. A good group of them, they just wasn't trying to hear it, and they felt like they could continue to use their nefarious scientific tactics and things of that nature to fight what's happening and transpiring. But they realizing it's not an option. And like I said, well, it's actually in one of these videos from Greater Post. A lot of these metaphorical and analogical movies that they're starting to release is something that they do as predictive programming. Like you're hearing me explain in the video, predictive programming isn't to let you know what's going to happen. It is to get you to think about it and put your energy into these thoughts to help them happen. Because being conscious right now, you hold a bigger piece of the key, a bigger piece of the manifestative energy right now. Because a lot of people who are asleep, they're starting to realize their energy is useless, because they still got a lot of them, and it's just not working for them. So they figure they'd be more useful targeting the conscious individuals, as we hold more power right now. I'm not gonna mention the names of the movies. Maybe that's why it was removed off TikTok. But one of them is a real popular one. It starts with leaving, and you know, uh, they figure if they can keep us. Let me get back to why I was talking about predictive programming, because they figure if they can remove us from what we're talking about in light of what they want to project, then it'll help them. And they just can't understand and can't realize, despite how much they know and how clear it is that this is inevitable, and imminent. They just won't stop. So they feel like they can remove our conscious thoughts and truth, and in lieu of their predictive programming, then maybe they can continue to project what they want to happen, like they've done for so long, and it's just not an option anymore. So you know, don't get upset, man. Don't get upset about them removing videos and stuff like that. They removed mine. I know how I feel, because I protested it. Like, man, this and a lot of stuff I talk about is all over Science News. Like, if you go to any scientific website, if you get in any type of what they call forgot what they call, but basically scientific discussions on websites or bulletin boards or discussion boards, that's all everybody's talking about right now. And I was helping some people move a little while ago, right? And they was talking about the weather that day. It was like 70 degrees. This was like last week. I'm on the East Coast. And I just mentioned the solar maximum, just briefly. And it was like, yeah, I don't know why the government's trying to hide this and they won't put it on the news. And some people are NPCs, some people are archons in these avatars, but regardless, some people are just regular people still that's asleep. So it kind of started laughing at me like, yeah, right, and I'm like, dude, like I just told y'all, I'm like, yo, this is all over science news. This is no conspiracy. Like, this is a natural quote unquote phenomena, but really the natural order of things. Like, if you watch that video where I speak about this magnetic force field, malevolent magnetic force field, and the poles flipping, this is something that was supposed to happen over 300,000 years ago. Actually, what's happening and transpiring right now is very late. Meaning, somebody was inducing what's going on, and somebody's been fighting the natural order of things to try to keep things as they are. But as many of us know, it's come to a point where it's just being overwritten. Everything they're doing, malevolently with universal law, it's being overrode at this point in time, as it has been long prophesied by many cultures, writings, and master teachers that have came and gone before us and returned back to the real world, the higher dimensions. So um, you just got to stay mindful, and like we always hear people say, enjoy these significant times. What a time to be alive, Whereas, we've existed for hundreds and thousands and eons of years, and had to just go along with this thing. Cause to be honest with you, right? And and a lot of these videos we see and pictures we see, I seen somebody talking about it. The sky is always like this pale white. Like, basically what I'm telling you is they painted over the sky in all these old photos. Some they painted over because you could see the natural sky before they got this green screen up. And some of them they painted over because the sky was full of smoke. Before they came out, before they was able to put up this green screen that we see as the blue sky, whether they got it from the malevolent ET forces that came here and helped them. At some point in time, they was just using smoke to cover the sky because they didn't want people to see the sky. So what people aren't aware of is we've already came a long way that they're aware of and we aren't. Because this sky we see now, this bright blue hue, it used to be dim. I hate to tell y'all, 24/7. It used to almost look like dawn and nighttime. We never really saw a sun until just a few hundred years ago. So they know, and they've been seeing what's been transpiring. And sometimes, as it may seem like things are going backwards, that's just them like fighting it harder and harder and harder. And the harder they fight it, and the more they offset what's supposed to be the present, the more timelines are sped up. Because you got to think of it like, all right, so if I got a bucket, right, and I'm filling this bucket up with water, and this bucket was supposed to be filled up in, let's say, 30 seconds. I'm going to say it's a pretty big bucket, right? And we was filling it up at a specified rate, okay? And we know that at the end of this 30 seconds, this bucket has to be full, right? So we'll say 5 seconds go by and something is malevolently um, weakening this flow of water, right? What's going to happen to that flow of water to make sure it's still filled up at the end of the 30 seconds? It's going to start coming out at a heavier influx. It's going to overflow. The water is going to come out overloading, so to make sure it's ready at that specified 30 seconds in time. That's a good analogy of what happens when they try to stop what's supposed to be going on in this present moment in time. Things have to be sped up so that they can happen when they're supposed to happen according to timelines. And see, sometimes I have a theory. I feel like they know they can't stop it, but they would rather do this on purpose in hopes that this thing will just happen overnight, and they won't have to quote unquote suffer or uh, be seen. See, they've done so much malevolence that they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed how wicked the things that they've done that are gonna be exposed. Like, they are very embarrassed, and of course, they don't want to pay for everything they've done. They want, they would rather just die in the blink of an eye. That's not how this happens. That's not how it's gonna happen. You feel me? That no, they're gonna be put on the forefront. Everybody's gonna see who, why, what. They're not gonna be able to kill themselves. They're gonna be pulled from out of the ground. There's a lot of things gonna happen, man. A lot of things gonna happen. So, as far as these adverse reactions, to get back to what I'm saying about that, they're inevitable as well. So, the more they do to stop it, the more things speed up. As y'all can see, how these solar flares and this photon light energy is intensifying to magnitudes that have never been seen. Besides it just being the solar maximum, like I said, things had to be sped up, and they will continuously be sped up the more they fight back. And just something to be mindful of and conscious of, to just remind yourself that this is inevitable, this is imminent, and no matter what happens, what transpires in malevolent ways to try to make us feel short of what is actually happening. And another thing, like, man, look, all over the cosmos, like at the end of the old Star Wars movies, when they were celebrating and Luke and them was still fighting, that is basically what's going on all over the cosmos. And while I'm talking about the cosmos, when we make these videos, and I make these videos, especially when some of us go into meticulous scientific details about what's transpiring, you gotta realize these videos are being displayed all over the cosmos. All over the cosmos. People who aren't here, and energies and souls and entities and deities that aren't here, they're able to watch our videos and be like, damn, so that's what's going on. Yes, celebrate. Even though they're already celebrating, because they're aware of the energy that's being sent here through the multidimensional transformer or portal that we refer to as the sun. Either way, a transformer, because I call it a multidimensional transformer and filter, because it transforms this energy. It is a portal where energy comes through, but it transforms the energy at this moment in time because of what has been done to it in malevolent ways with this atmospheric shield. So it transforms this black photon light energy that comes in through this portal. And all throughout the cosmos, they're aware of energies that's being sent, of beings that's coming in through the portal, and things of that nature and stuff like that. So, just always remember that, man. All over the cosmos, you got people rooting for you, encouraging you. The voices you hear, your clairvoyancy, that's all different types of beings all throughout the cosmos, as well as your ancestors and ascended masters, and whatever energies you work with. It's all throughout the cosmos. Everybody's watching. Everybody's waiting for the inevitable and what was going to transpire very soon here. Stay up. What's good, y'all? All high frequency beings, thanks for tapping in once again. I'm gonna post my video about the magnetic field tomorrow on Friday, because it correlates to what I'm about to talk about a little bit. But they are doing a lot right now, as they had to, with these major solar flares and eruptions and significant photon energy that's coming through the multi-dimensional transformer of the sun that we see, that perfect circle. Now, I know it. I will mention this before I get started. Something you can do for a rule of thumb: if you wake up in the rising, like right after the sunrise, and because when the sunrise, that's when the most significant pressures hit the surface where we at, because that's where you can experience the sun before it rises above their atmospheric shields, where they shield off the light So if you wake up when that sun rising, like 9 times out of 10, if you up, it's like an orange red. It's like an orange red color as it's rising before it get all the way up, start getting up in the sky above their atmospheric shields. But during that time, it's like 55 to 60 degrees. No joke. And then once they get past those atmospheric shields and buffers, the stratosphere, ionosphere, all that bullshit, once they get up there, it cools off significantly. And by like 9, 10 o'clock, it's like 15 degrees cooler. 15 degrees cooler. And the way they do that is they shoot off ions in the stratosphere. That's the scientific terminology, but basically, it's electrically charged nanoparticles. Some of them are what you would refer to as smart nanoparticles, meaning they can electrically readapt to the magnetic field and the frequencies, whereas they could strengthen these atmospheric shields to buffer and to limit this photon energy that's coming through at more significant rates. And not to feel like, what's the word I want to say, but not to feel like it's nothing you can do or that this is a win for them, because everything has adverse reactions as it always has. Right now, it's supposed to be like 90 to 100 degrees all over Tamiri. I mean, shit, just a few miles away from us, you got 90, 80, and 100-degree weather in Central America and places like that. But and all over the world, it's record heat. But and just like I seen a video, I actually posted a comment. Those locust swarms in Mexico, all that stuff is supposed to be occurring right here, right now too. Right here, right now. I see. I can't say too much, man, because they took that video down, and these cowards, they gave me a dire warning. Like they cited the video for integrity and authenticity because I challenged the removal by saying I had scientific evidence. So they basically said, well, since you got evidence, it's not authentic. That's a big reach, real big reach. So I can only speak in so much because they basically telling me they don't care if I have proof. They're gonna say it's not authentic. So they use these electrical and electrically charged nanoparticles that can alter the frequencies in the atmospheric shields to strengthen them. Whereas high frequencies come in, they can strengthen them being lower frequency shields. So they're doing a lot, and this stuff always has adverse reactions. It always has adverse reactions. So they just speeding up the process. Like I said, when people talk about speeding up timelines, this is how timelines get sped up because they're fighting what's supposed to be naturally happening, causing things to speed up, happen at more significant rates. And they got no choice, and they're realizing there's nothing they can do at this point. And if you notice, like when it get dark or when it's time to get dark, you get like these random headaches. That's from the frequencies from the towers. If you know, you know. I can't use too much terminology when referring to these things because they'll take this video off. But all that stuff, your leg falling asleep sooner, all that stuff is effects from the towers being turned up to induce nighttime. Nighttime not real. It's not real, man. That's their biggest ally right now. And even that being an ally, if you notice, it's warmer at night most of the time. Like I said. And when the sun rising before it get up there past those atmospheric shields, it's real warm until they get up there where they can shield it again from the surface. And this all ties into the magnetic field that's failing and the ions they got to use to strengthen the atmospheric shields because the magnetic field, this false magnetic field is failing as the poles continue to flip and realign. Another thing I wanted to touch on was they soliciting a lot of things like to pertain or to be correlate more to the conscious community, quote unquote, and high frequency beings like movies, music. First off, let me tell you, anything in the media, man, it's no good for you. It's not good for you. Anything that's mainstream. There's some good documentaries on Tubi, but anything that's mainstream, like that, leaving behind whatever that shit is, man, come on, like that movie is predictive programming. And when I say predictive programming isn't to let you know what's gonna happen. That's not what it is. Predictive programming is to get you to watch something and to continuously think about it and put energy to it so they can basically use your energy and get your permission to make it happen. Don't watch that shit, man. Don't watch that shit. I don't care who the fuck tell you to watch that shit. Do not watch that shit. All they trying to do is get higher frequency beings, people with more energy, people that hold the keys to what's going to transpire right now, to watch these movies, and they're using them, they're making them in deeper metaphorical senses and using deeper analogies to make it seem like, let me figure this puzzle out, let me decipher this movie. No. It's another form of predictive programming to capture a higher conscious group of conscious beings, energy and thoughts. Don't watch that shit. I even put myself out there because I know a lot of people wanted to say this Andre 3000 character made this album so high frequency. No, it's not. It's not. Listen, have you ever made music before? You know, when they come to mastering music, you can make music at whatever frequency you want. Once they take it and put it on those machines and the computers and the devices to master it, they can alter the frequency to whatever they want. Whatever they want. Don't listen to that shit. Again, all this mainstream media, all this shit is no good, man. Go play some Delegates, some Marvin Gaye, Spinners, Earth, Wind and Fire. You got a lot of people to listen to from the 70s. Go listen to some of that. Put some headphones on, close your eyes, listen to that. Shit, right? Go journal if you want to while you listen to it. But do not get caught up in these new solicitations to capture a higher conscious group of people. Harness their energy and thoughts. Don't fall for that shit. Again, I will be doing my video about the magnetic field tomorrow, only because, like I said, and I'll say it in a lot of my videos when I use the videos, I'm reading from an excerpt. So I go over it a few times to make sure it's a clear explanation and everything is correct and it's being conveyed as clear as I can get it. So, it ain't really no hold up. I just like to make sure it's perfect. You know what I'm saying? When I put it out there and use the images and all that stuff like I have in other past videos. But like I said, besides all this, stay aware, stay conscious of what's going on. Don't fall for the traps. Stay focused. Guard your energy. Guard your frequency. Y'all stay up. One love. Yo, look at how many of these things are out here at once right now. I counted like 15, to be honest with y'all. All out here spraying at the same time as soon as the sun went down. They getting real desperate, y'all. Real desperate. You see all that shit? That's all of them at one time.